Live from the Channels Television Global Headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria, this is Newsroom Series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we'll be focusing on the North Central region. The Minister of Defense, Mr. Mohammed Abubakar, and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, accompanied by the Acting Chief of Army Staff and other service chiefs, have paid a condolence visit to the family of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who died on Tuesday. The Minister of Defense, who declined speaking to journalists at the Flag House, where the late Chief of Army Staff lived before his demise, commiserated with the immediate family of the late General Lagbaja and members of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association. The Defense Headquarters has confirmed the emergence of a new terror group known as Lukarawas in Sokoto and Kebbi states, as they stressed the need for Nigerians to provide information on strange persons congregating in any community. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says the new terror group is exacerbating insecurity in the northwest region, but the armed forces of Nigeria are already containing them. General Buba adds that the new terror group emerged from the Republic of Niger after the coup that led to the breakdown of military cooperation between Nigeria and Niger. The military also declared 9 terrorists wanted for their roles in the security challenges bedeviling the nation. 3 youths were reportedly murdered by unknown attackers in Rakok village of Barkin Ladi local government area of Plateau State on Wednesday morning. In a statement issued by the Barom Youth Organization, 3 youths were murdered in the course of carrying out their businesses in the community when their assailants attacked. The association condemned the attack, which has been reoccurring in the area, with a call on security agencies to address the security breach and destruction of farm produce. The association is appealing for an investigation and subsequent arrest of perpetrators of the killers and compensation for massive crops destruction and harvest, as well as motorcycles stolen recently in the general area, as well as medical support to the injured. Still in Plateau State, application of best practices and learned skills for procuring and contracting construction projects in ensuring effective and efficient delivery of projects have been identified as enablers for durable infrastructural facilities. These are the overall goal of a capacity-building initiative on best practices in contemporary construction and procurement for Plateau State's built environment sector, which is aimed to safeguard public funds and enhance project delivery.
I wanted to keep quiet and go. The Plateau State Strategy and Results Delivery Office has set up skill and competence development programs to build capacity for public service towards actualizing the state strategic development framework. Personnel from the state ministries, departments and agencies are being equipped with requisite tools and knowledge to foster a skilled workforce in construction and procurement.
Every project has an outcome. You want a particular outcome to come for your project that you have begun to do. So if you practice according to international best practices, you are going to get optimal outcomes. 2, you will get an increase in efficiency. 3, during that process, you will develop a process that is structured. Like I said, you won't be doing things anyhow when you have a project to do.
The Plateau State government believes this intervention is necessary because of the number of abandoned infrastructure projects inherited from the previous administration.
I wish to underscore the significance of this initiative to our administration, as infrastructure development remains a paramount priority articulated within the Plateau State Development Framework for the period 2023 to 2027. I am confident that this training will enhance the skills in project delivery and efficiency, while also fostering dialogue on strategies to mitigate financial wastage, bolster accountability, and improve project completion rates.
Players in the industry are brought in to give their professional advice on how to ensure an effective and efficient construction and procurement system. They are calling for the revival of the Plateau State Materials Testing Laboratory.
Plateau State government has a material testing lab. I think it's domiciled at the Ministry of Works, if I'm not mistaken. And for a long time, this lab has not been functioning because the equipment there have gone obsolete. And it's been a problem. So I think if the government can pay attention to revamping that lab, number one, all your contractors will have to test their materials in the government lab, meaning that some of the monies you are paying to contractors are coming back to the coffers of the state government because they are now
Several components in the construction and procurement industry, ranging from legal and regulatory framework, project planning, contract management, as well as health, safety and environmental considerations, were presented to participants to hone their skills and competence development.
Environmental activists and residents of Court 5 Road, located at the North Bank axis of Makurdi, the Benue State capital, have raised alarm over excavation of laterite off Joseph Waku Street, exposing homes to landslide and erosion by one of the construction companies, Bauhaus Global Investments Limited. Mr. Victor Asobo, an environmentalist, while speaking to Channels Television on the excavation of over 10 feet deep into the ground on the street, called on the Benue State government to intervene in the matter, as the activities of the contractor it engaged for the construction of the Makurdi underpass has put residents in danger in the face of climate change and flooding. One of the residents, Mrs. Sarah Amahoso, laments the failure of the government and the contractor to explain why they continue to dig deep into their streets, preventing them from having access into their homes, which are being threatened by quick landslide and erosion.
Residents of Joseph Waku Road, located at the Court 5 axis of North Bank, Makurdi, the Benue State capital, are losing sleep over the safety of their homes. In October 2024, the contractor handling the Makurdi Underpass project deployed equipment to the area, excavating soil from the road to the point of leaving many homes unsafe. Some of the houses stand the risk of collapse from erosion and even flooding.
We noticed that after the initial excitement, what is happening is that the vehicles are cutting away soil for use in other parts of the town for road construction. And as a replacement, they are bringing what you can see that looks muddy, yes, to fill. And we keep asking, because this is now even depriving us of access to our individual houses, even the more. Apart from that, you can see the environment is prone to gully erosion. And the excavation is so deep that we are concerned. The soil is looming and it's collapsing. Even as we are talking, it's collapsing.
This is BIPC quarters. And what I know about this is that when they started this, I came and I asked the people in charge, and they told me that they discovered some materials here. They want to pack and make use of it somewhere. And after that, if the government deem it necessary, then he will give them a contract to do. But right now, as I'm talking to you, there's nothing like construction of road here.
One of the affected residents, as a retired officer of the Department of State Services, says the community members are being threatened for attempting to stop the excavation, which they claim is about 10 feet deeper than the street level.
Last month, we only woke up to meet people, I think Saturday 4th or thereabout last month. Seeing bulldozer and everything. There is a boy I know too well by name Peter Ojime, who claims is the company liaison officer. So when we inquire to know what is going on, he said there is an agreement between the community and this very company. I made a frantic effort again to inquire. There's somebody called Udo, Kuna. He would send for people, 20 people, to come and fight me that I'm not an indigene, so I don't have right to complain on my own property, that I want to know what is going on. He said I don't have the right. Stay here. They do all sorts of manner of things. We've been crying, and this thing continue going every day.
Dismissing the allegation, one of the community youth says it's not true that the soil is being carted away, but a construction phase that will see the street asphalted.
But now they are packing the mud. If you can look at that sand there, it's not laterite. So they are bringing laterite to cover this place. What they are doing is they are taking to other dump sites to control erosion, I believe. Then what is meant here for us is that this road will be done, and that is what is here. Bringing of laterite simply means you want to tie the road. And this road is linking from here, connecting to Union Group. This is like they want to make this road another major road, apart from the other one at SRS. And that one is bad, it's congested. By the time you want to pass there, a vehicle or two might even easily collide. So by making this path straight down, like two paths to one place, it makes it easier. It will be nice for cars to be passing.
But his explanation does not seem to answer the question of exposing residents to threats of flood and erosion. As a top environmentalist, queries the level of excavation without impact assessment reports.
Assuming if we have rains now, look at the property. There will be a lot of landslides, and again, this place is close to the river. And looking at the structure of the soil, we have loose alluvial soils. So there's every possibility that there will be landslides, sliding. And at that point, we won't be able to control it. And God forbid, if it gets to the river, it means that if the river turns its own course to this place, then there will be disaster.
From North Bank, Channels Television visit the controversial Makredi Underpass project, which is receiving the sand from Joseph Waku Road, but reports to speak with the contractor failed, as the project manager would not take calls with access denied our crew to get clarification on all grey areas.
Now on to the Senate. There's been a lot of buzz around the tax reform bill presented to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu, and it seems like governors, especially those from the northern region, are raising some serious concerns about it. The bill aims to make some significant changes to the country's tax system, but it's not entirely clear what those changes will look like or how they'll impact the average citizen. Making some clarification on the issue, the Senate Committee Chairman on Finance, who represents Niger East, Mohammed Sani, emphasizes that the National Assembly is committed to serving the interests of Nigerians and will thoroughly review the bill and point any inherent flaws.
Correspondence have come from Mr. President, and we are looking at the correspondence of Mr. President. We have done first reading of that. There is no any correspondence from Mr. President halting it. Not until we receive any further communication, we will continue to do our legislative functions on it. And so far so good. We have done first reading in the Red Chamber. In the House of Representatives, they have done the first and second reading. I believe by the time we reconvene for the plenary, we will take the second reading. And then my committee will embark on working to see what it is, what the four bills are carrying. And if those four bills are carrying something for the good of Nigeria, we will do the needful. Whatever it is, even if there are gray areas that need to be corrected, that is why they are bringing to us. That is why Mr. President did not say, I'm enacting a law and it is a law. No. That is why fundamentally Constitution have given us that. And that is the reason why Mr. President have presented it before us so that we will look at it. And I can assure you, National Assembly is National Assembly of Nigerians. And what we are going to do, we are going to do it in the best interest of Nigeria and Nigerians.
You're watching Newsroom series live on Channels Television. Still ahead, we'll bring to you a call to the federal government to diversify the economy. Stay with us. Welcome back. The need to diversify from oil sector to the agricultural sector has again been identified as an important factor for Nigeria to be at the rightful place in the community of nations and address the food challenges. This is the view of various speakers at different events in Kwara State, where they urged governments at all levels to be serious in its promises and efforts to provide food for the citizens.
Awareness being created to revive the nation's agricultural sector seems to be gaining momentum as different groups and professionals call on government at all levels to step up action and encourage Nigerians to invest in the different value chains. The gathering of these university lecturers in Offa, Kwara State, is to enlighten their members on the need to practice agriculture and calling on the government to support young Nigerians in this aspect.
What Allah has bestowed to Nigeria are natural resources from our agriculture, in which every state, every nook and corner of this country is bestowed. And one of the greatest things that is affecting our disunity and our peace is the mentality that some are producers while others are parasites. When you go back to agriculture, each corner of this country is distorted. What do you do to develop that sector? First, as a nation, we have to diversify the economy and then move to develop the value chain.
Meanwhile, in Ilorin, the state capital, it's a gathering of young farmers being supported with funds to enhance their agriculture business by well-meaning individuals to complement the efforts of the government in the sector. The people here admonish to be sincere in their efforts to go into agriculture and not see it as a means to fraudulently enrich themselves.
We had more than 500 people registered for this program. At the end of the day, the people were able to verify about 300 plus. So we reached out to all of these farmers that we verified, and we went to their farms to actually verify that they own the farms. People that we called that did not have farms, we are not responsible for them. Some people lied, and there's no way we will give money to people who have lied, because the goal of the program is to support farmers. So if you are not a farmer, you can't get support from this initiative.
The money will go a long way, because initially we have written this off. We thought at this time that there is nothing anyone is coming to do to us, until a few days ago when I received a call that they are coming to inspect my farm. And fortunately, it was true. They came and they saw it. So the money will go a long way, because it will enhance our performance. It will enable us purchase what we feel we will not be able to do.
The state government, on its part, gives assurances of its readiness to implement its 10-year plan to restore the glory of agriculture in the state and provide food for the citizens.
It is highly commendable, because that has been the roadmap for us, and it's something that we're proud of as a state. And I think Kwara should also note that, because we then have a sense of direction as to where we are going. And then the beautiful thing about our transformation plan is that we've aligned it with the 4 core pillars of agribusiness that is accepted and practiced globally.
The aim is to provide a level playing ground and make the sector attractive to the people, especially the younger ones.
We head over to Nasarawa State, where the state's government have offered free medical screening for 200 special children in the state. The outreach, which is facilitated by the Nasarawa Disabilities Rights Commission, is in collaboration with the Haske Children's Foundation. Our correspondent, Halima Gayam, has a report.
Special children selected from different communities in Nasarawa State, alongside pupils of the Nasarawa State Comprehensive Special School in Lafia, are brought in for a free medical outreach facilitated by the Nasarawa State Disability Rights Commission in collaboration with a non-governmental organization, the Haske Children's Foundation. The initiative, which provides essential medical care, screenings and health education, is aimed at supporting government efforts in the health sector.
We understand that the government cannot do it alone, and that's why we decided to partner with the Nasarawa State Disabilities Commission. This is a pilot scheme, and we hope to replicate this across the country. We are very pleased to have chosen Nasarawa State, and we are grateful for the immense support and cooperation of the Disabilities Commission.
The children are screened and treated for typhoid, malaria, eye, ear problems and joint problems and other diagnosed ailments.
This event marks a very significant step towards ensuring that the plight of people living with disability is being solved in Nasarawa State. This is in line with the Governor A. Sule mission of ensuring that the life of persons living with disability is enhanced. That's why, as a commission, when we are being constituted to man the activities of this commission, we felt that we're not going to fail this administration for shouldering this very huge responsibility on us.
The Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Emmanuel Akabi, inspects the facility as he gives assurances of continuous government support for such initiatives.
He has a passionate bond with this school and a passionate bond with all those of us who have one disability or the other.
Organizers say they look forward to contributing to the society, promising that the health intervention to improve the well-being of special children will be a continuous process. Halima Agayam, Channels Television News.
The federal government is asking state governors and all education stakeholders to collectively address the increasing cases of out-of-school children in the country as part of efforts to develop the nation's youths. Speaking in Abuja at a 3-day stakeholders retreat on tackling the menace of out-of-school children and the reformation of Almajiri system of education, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Sani Gwazo, says ignoring the education of out-of-school children at Almajiris is detrimental to the growth and security of Nigeria as a nation.
Education experts, traditional and religious leaders converge on the conference hall of the Office of the National Security Advisor to brainstorm on the issue of out-of-school children and Almajiri education. The dangers of having an army of out-of-school children dominates discussion.
It is instructive to note that extremist and violent non-state actors have continued to exploit the availability of uneducated children and destitutes by recruiting them into their ranks and undermining peace and security.
It has become so clean and clear that right from the advent of this regime, His Excellency is more than committed to making sure that this age-long decade system of Almajiri education is not only revitalized, but Almajiris are taken advantage of, where they will also contribute their quota in the growth of the GDP of this country.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, who represented the Minister of Education, advocates the need for effective collaboration to tackle the menace.
The significance of Almajiri and out-of-school children education as a whole cannot be overemphasized. Many of us have been engaged in construction work or any other productive work. You can afford to stop when your money or resources are in shortage. Then you continue from where you built. For education of Almajiris and out-of-school children, if you dare stop, the timeliness of that endeavor will be lost.
Effective solution to the menace is the concern of this traditional ruler.
I think it's a new day, a new revolution that the country is looking inwards. There's no child left to be left behind. It doesn't matter who it is, these are children of God. And I want to thank the Almighty God for this retreat. It's a nice one. I see that as a positive step.
With over 20 million out-of-school children in the country, the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children Education is promising to take the bull by the horn to address the problem.
And that's where we drop the anchor on this edition of Newsroom series. Remember, Nigeria is our country, and let's strive to ensure we do things responsibly. Dominic, you will enjoy the rest of your day.